I was diagnosed on January 17th of 2010. So this is now my third year dealing with it. My third year living with it. It's been rough, and we're kind of in the home stretch here, but I'm okay with that. And I'm married. I just got married January 7th of last year. So we have only been married for just a little bit over a year, and his name's George. He's fantastic. He has been here, stuck by my side, every hospitalization, every illness, everything. He's been just amazing. I went in for a CT scan, and as standard protocol, they tested my urine, and the doctor came back in and said, "You tested positive." I said, "Positive for what?" And he said, "Pregnancy." And I was like, "Oh, that can't be right," and he was like, he even said, the doctor, that, tumors release the same hormone that can test positive for pregnancy, so we thought this was just my tumors. So he was like, well, he's like, just to confirm, he's like, we have to do an ultrasound. And so I was dead set on this was a false positive, and so I was just chit-chatting away during my ultrasound, and all of a sudden I was 12 weeks pregnant. There was a baby waving at me with 10 fingers and 10 toes, and I was pregnant. The chemo that I was on at the time was working really well. I had been on it for almost a year at the time, and it had pretty much stopped all new growths. And I knew that potentially when I had my son, that when I went back to chemo, that it might not work again, but it was a risk that I was willing to take because I knew that I had to have this baby. Tristan's amazing. He was born on March 21st of 2012, and he was born downtown at Barnes. We had an emergency C-section because I had a preeclampsia. So he was born a month early. There was some complications. He had some respiratory problems. So he was in the hospital for the first 2 months of his life. We found out immediately after he was born that he had Down syndrome, and it was something that I hadn't been tested for during pregnancy, so it was a shock. But I thought of all the potential things that could go wrong, that if Down syndrome was the worst that we had to deal with, and I thought that we were doing okay. He's my world, and he's doing so good. Here we are almost a year later, and he's overcome so much. So for me, hospice has been a huge change. I have, like I said, I was so sick before, and so it was horrible. And now that I'm doing the hospice program, I'm comfortable. They've really helped with pain management, has been fantastic. And then also now I'm able to work on finding some sort of closure and ways to say goodbye to my family and friends, and kind of make my peace and to make the best of the days that I do have left. Through BJC Hospice, I'm also doing birthday cards for my son. I think we have through his 7th birthday so far, but my goal is to have a birthday card for him for every year up until his 21st birthday. So that way, each year, he'll know that a small piece of me is there with him, wishing him happy birthday, and wishing I could be there. He may not have his own memories of me, but he'll have these mementos that will, that will teach him who I was, and that will, it'll be like my story. for him.